Hello, everyone. My name is Zenzi Sewa, as you well know. And today, my guest is Lachlan. I say Lachlan Todd, but it's Lachlan Todd, he pronounced it. And Lachlan is very interesting. He is at the moment living in Bali, and I went there last year, and it's lovely. And he's going to be sharing with us his story. He was in a corporate field. He's come out. Now he's living his life in Bali. He's living a totally different life and he's happy. So without much ado, let me introduce you to Lachlan Todd. Hello, Lachlan.
Incredible to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. And today you're going to share your story of where you're coming from, in as much as you've come from a corporate field and you weren't happy. But let's hear a little bit before then about your life going into corporate and what brought you into your spirituality. So I hand it over to you.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting story that a lot of people can take lessons from. And this began, several years ago, maybe during COVID. I finally quit my corporate job where I was an insurance broker, wishing that I could travel and live this cool life for years. 3 years I spent doing that. I finally, traveled. I went to Spain for my master's. I ended up in another job. I didn't like this job yet again, having a boss, feeling trapped. I quit and I moved to South America, Colombia, where I began my own freelancing writing business in crypto. I ended up making money doing that and traveling and having freedom for a year, but I still wasn't happy. And all these things I was kind of pursuing of like freedom to live anywhere, freedom to make money, freedom to whatever. It was crazy because I still why is my vibe not that good? Why aren't I joking around with the cleaning lady? Why am I so serious? Why am I stressed? Why am I biting my nails? All this stuff. So this was actually about a year ago. I remember I was pretty unhappy a year ago. I guess March, just over. And the last especially later last year, 2024, I went pretty deep into the spirituality path. And to be honest, now my vibe is so good, not all the time, but even when it's not, I accept it. I can joke around with people. I'm becoming my more authentic self. I left crypto writing because I felt like I was always in my head and very serious. And it was just a means to an end, making the money. So now I'm going more my authentic route. I'm starting to post on social media, starting to get my voice and story out there. And I'm looking to just help people now in a genuine way that I did myself. So there's a lot to unpack there, different spirituality practices I did. For example, a 2-week retreat, which is very interesting. For example, yoga teacher training, but I don't know if there's any path you want to take it.
Yeah, no, it is about the spiritual side that you came across, because quite clearly you were very successful. You were earning a lot of money. You were in Colombia, you went to Spain, you were all over, and then you specialized and started to do your own crypto, and you were trying to be independent, but still you were not happy. But then you came along the spiritual side, and that's led you to where you are today. So let's expand more on the spiritual side. And how did you come across the spiritual side? Were you influenced by somebody? And what spiritual things did you do in order to bring you to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think because I'm a very analytical person, which is why I was good at crypto, good at math, stuff like that, I'm in my head a lot. And I always kind of had tension in my body, like stiff shoulders, tight hips, stuff like that. And I began doing yoga about 10 years ago. And I think it was my unconscious way of getting more into my body and connecting with the spiritual side. I would notice that I'm much less stressed, I'm more present and grounded, stuff like that. And when I was thinking through spiritual stuff to do last year, I had a few friends that said there was this retreat that was life-changing in Arizona. And I signed up for that. And at the same time, the girl I had been seeing at the same time was telling me about The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
And during this very powerful 2-week retreat, as I'm reading The Power of Now, and it's just describing me and the ways I've been in the past, pain body, getting triggered by people and situations, resisting the present moment. Everything I'm doing is a means to an end. it resonated with me at a deep level. And this was October. In mid-December, I did yoga teacher training, where once again for 3 weeks I'm doing vegetarian diet. I mean, this is the first time doing vegetarian diet, but I'm also, learning about Eastern philosophy and consciousness, and I'm in my body for 3 weeks. And it's kind of profound. Like, at some level, it just felt way better being in the present moment, feeling emotions coming up, stuff in the past, accepting it.
Let me
Yeah.
stop you because you've been doing a lot. What do you mean by being in your body?
Yeah. Well, with analytical people, or I guess everybody, we're not everyone, but a lot of people I think are overthinking, the future and the past. What do I say on this podcast next? What do I do for my next video? What time should I wake up tomorrow? What about that awkward thing I said last week? We're just like always stressed. And when you come back to your body and you actually just like feel how it feels to be you, like, where is that anxiety? Is it my chest tightening a little bit? How do I feel right now? Am I sweating? And you're kind of like observing yourself from a distance. And when you come into I don't even know how to describe this all. Like, I guess I'm on the newer side to all of this. But when you get more into your body and out of your head, it's a different experience, and you become a lot more grounded, and you notice these emotions, whether that's anger, anxiety, excitement, and you detach from them, and they're just sensations in your body. And all these emotions of like getting triggered by people, you aren't caught up in them anymore. You dissociate and you start to explore them and ask questions. Why does it bother me so much what my mom said, or that this person said this about me? And then you go deeper into it. It's
I understand what you're saying, because it's about sitting still. It's like meditation. You sit still and you question these things are upsetting you that you know are not correct. And when you question and you are in the present, you get answers, and you observe yourself more. And that's because you start to become aware as you're traveling through this journey. So obviously you've been in this, it's making you, and you've been guided to sit and look at how you're feeling and question it to get answers so that you can change it. Let me ask you this. You said you were more in your body. Was there a teacher or somebody that was that probably triggered you to go and have a look at this closer? Because you went on this retreat in Arizona, or was it in Arizona when you were guided to sit and probably still and be more observant?
Yeah, I don't think there's one thing that got me more into my body. Even Joe Dispenza, his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, where there's the guided meditations and he teaches you a bit about this. It's kind of like multiple different angles hitting me at the same time and me piecing it all together in my usual analytical way.
Yeah.
And
It
yeah,
is.
I don't think there's one moment.
Yeah, it's about when you start that journey, you're looking at different things, and because you're actually now looking and you're questioning and you are yearning for that knowledge, you find things start to pop up all over that start to show you what you didn't know before, and it's probably knowledge that you are yearning to understand to help you on that journey. And did this all take place when you were in Arizona, or that was part of it and then it just continued?
Yeah, so I think Arizona was pretty big. That was maybe mid-October, and then I flew directly to Thailand, and I got off the plane, and 2 hours later I did sunrise at a Buddhist, whatever you call it, Buddhist temple. Yeah,
Yeah.
temple. Yeah. That's obvious. I should know that. And it was like incredible, and I was like spiritually high for like a week or two. I don't know how to describe that, where you're kind of just like vibrating and like everything's amazing and like you're alive. You have like the
Yeah.
life force energy moving in you, and you can't even describe it, because like it's like how you could tell someone what an orange tastes like, but until they actually taste it, it's
Yeah.
hard to know that. And it's not going to be in the scientific journal, because you like, but once you actually experience it, it's real.
Yeah.
And Yeah, during yoga training in late December, I was reading A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and that's describing the ego and like how we're attached to our possessions and who we know and all this other stuff. And it's just describing me how I'm like how I casually would mention how much money I got to in crypto writing, or casually mention how I know this person, or like in relationships, the roles we play. And it's just like kind of crazy. It's just like an outside perspective. And then relating that to all the times I've been unhappy. To be honest, anyone listening, like I just feel way happier. Like it it's hard to know the exact, I don't know if there is like an exact like do these 5 steps or anything, but the more you immerse yourself in it, and yoga was one of my paths, the more life is on your side and everything comes together.
Okay. Now, part of that you were saying that you did a teacher training course.
Yeah,
What
3 weeks yoga.
Oh, so you are now qualified to teach yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, and you do that on a regular basis.
We hosted a few classes at our place here, but no, like I don't think it makes sense as a career. It's kind of just for spiritual exploration.
Okay, and with your reading, I know Joe Dispenza is wonderful. I've put it in one of my podcasts and one of the courses that I've created, because his story is so wonderful. You know, when he became crippled because he had an accident, and how he brought himself, he made himself walk again. But it's not just him, but as he said, the power is within you. And I think when you're on this spiritual journey, it is about realizing that everything is within you, and to find the gift and your authentic self for the life we're meant to live. And obviously, listening to you, it's you are living, some would say, a wonderful life. Financially, materially, yes, but inwardly, no. And um you had to find your real self, and what life was really about here. So at this point in time now, you said it's about a year ago, and up to last October you were on retreats and you were reading. And what have you, since that time, how has your journey been?
Yeah, I found it hard to continue with crypto writing because I think I had known for a while I wasn't that passionate about it. And it also brought me a lot more back into the analytical mind. So I became much less passionate about it. 2 clients fired me, and I was actually happy and relieved.
Ouch.
Um, I didn't, but I was happy, and I took that as a sign. You know, I was kind of listening to the intuition. I think I was self-sabotaging, and then
Yeah.
I was kind of delaying. Like, I kind of knew that I wanted to help people, and that's like what my highest self would do. So about a month ago, I started on social media, and I wasn't exactly sure what to talk about. So I was just speaking about different things, like how to work online and travel. But then I got these glasses with a camera in them, the Ray-Bans Metas. And I was just like, I think I'll grow a lot faster if I do street interviews, asking people how they work online. And then the videos of me talking to people, especially cute girls, did very well. And I have like no social anxiety. So now I might just like show myself. I mean, I'm showing myself talking to everybody. I'll show myself making friends, but even just like how to be a normal guy talking to a girl as well is something I overcame. And now I have like, I didn't have female friends for like years, and now I have a lot of like really cool ones. So I'm
Let me stop
basically
you
like, what feel, yeah, it's fun. My life's funny.
there. Yeah, let me stop you there, because you're saying I didn't have many friends and how to talk to girls, and that, you mean to tell me you didn't know how to chat up or speak to a young lady? Or were you
I
just
mean,
shy?
I just didn't, no, I think that, I mean, for example, I think that like I dialed down my autism a lot because you kind of need to be like semi-autistic to be like really smart in crypto, which I was. So like I used to miss social cues. I didn't even know what the feminine and masculine was because they don't really, you just don't learn that in Canada. Like I had no idea how girls think at all.
Mhm.
I think as well, I had this underlying neediness for like approval and validation, which I think a lot of guys do. Like they can't even just be friends with a girl. So now, because I know exactly kind of what I'm looking for and I don't need this validation, I'm not sleeping around. I'm looking for actual connection.
Yeah.
And now when I meet someone, it's not like what should I say? It's more like, what type of person are they? I'm just going to have a fun conversation. They're probably cool. So it's very different. Now I'm just having fun conversations, making friends. But obviously, if it's someone who like matches my criteria, I can be forward. But it's
Yeah.
like it's just a different paradigm, and I think a lot of guys treat girls out or just have a bad vibe and are very lonely and don't know why.
But
So I'm
do
just
you,
exploring this.
yeah, do you find that since you've, and I think it is, I don't know it is, that since you've changed from this materialistic in your head, all about what money you earn, what you're doing, and this to the spiritual path where you're yourself, you're a human being, everybody is a human being, and looking at things differently, I believe that's actually changed your, and if you said it changed your way of having friends, meeting people, talking to people, connecting with people, and looking at them on a totally different level, and which has brought you to have probably friends and relationships that are more solid and not superficial.
Yeah. I think that guys, especially ambitious ones, are very logical in their conversations. Whereas at least when I'm talking to women, a lot it's more go with the flow, fun, emotional, good vibes. And I
Yeah,
believe maybe I was so far in the analytical for a while that now I'm just enjoying the opposite.
yeah,
So
and
yeah.
that's your spirituality coming out, and not expecting anything, but just being one human being to another and connecting, and whatever is right for you will come out at the right time.
Yeah, it's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. So here you are going through this spiritual side of you, going, learning yoga, doing meditation, going to Thailand, going to a monastery and a temple, and going within yourself and experiencing this spirituality. What did you do after Thailand?
I came to Bali. So I spent November in Thailand, December until now. Now is April, early April, in Bali, and I did the yoga training. I was staying with two guys, living with two guys, three guys that were more in like the nightlife scene, and I just didn't really love that vibe. The house was like kind of small as well, so I got this. I found like my dream house in Uluwatu, which is the more chill zone, and I've been here the last 2 months, and then, yeah, life's been good.
Yeah. So what do you now? Because I was in Bali last year and with my family, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I'm thinking, I'd love to live here. I'd love to live. Um, Rent is cheap, everything, food, everything, and but the people and the atmosphere, it's a lovely spiritual atmosphere. It's so genuine, and when people are talking to you, they smile. It's natural and it's genuine, and I simply loved it. And I'm actually thinking, is there a possibility I can go over there and just be and do my social as well? And yeah, I think talking to you, we need to talk more off camera. But so you're there now in Bali, and what are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, I think I'm just starting to create YouTube videos talking about stuff that I find interesting to me. I'm still filming videos of me talking to people. I'm kind of just thinking through how do I actually grow that? Like a lot of it is like, do I create an informational product on like all the profound changes I've undergone,
Mhm.
how like conversational skills I've learned, how to actually remove trauma from your past and connect with your spiritual side. So I'm like debating like how I package this up, and I'll probably will start helping people more. Um, I leave in
Okay.
2 weeks. I'm going to go to Dubai for like 10 days. So I might feel myself like making friends with like successful guys. And this isn't because they have money. This is actually an interesting topic. I don't really care about guys having money, but most of my guy friends do have money. And it's more because of the character traits behind that. I really
Mhm.
like people that are ambitious, positive, believe in themselves, take action. So, I'm thinking through in Dubai? How could I like teach guys to get around people on the right path to support them? So and then I'm going to go to Europe. So I'm just like kind of thinking through my next moves and how I can help people put out more content in a genuine, authentic, respectable way. And that's kind of like a lot of moving pieces in my mind. And I think the spirituality piece is actually keeping me grounded, because otherwise I used to get way more stressed about when I'm about to move or I'm changing careers and there's income uncertainty, for example.
When you're making these decisions from go to one place to another, is it made consciously, or is it something within you that stirs, that guides you to, let me go here or let me do that?
Yeah, it used to be a lot more logical. Now it's more intuition based, what excites me. I still combine it a bit. Like Dubai is logical for a few different reasons, such as to
Mhm.
see friends and get some content. And there's a big conference there. But yeah, I think intuition, like following what actually excites me and gives me energy, is powerful.
Okay, you say there's a big conference there. That is that what you're going to attend, and what is the conference about?
It's a crypto conference, so I don't really want to get clients, but like maybe one or two just for like less income uncertainty, or maybe just to like film content. I don't know. There's just gonna be a lot of people there.
Okay, so again, it is about which direction, you know, that you don't want to get caught up in the kind of life you were living before, and it's all there. You're more spiritually inclined within you now, so you are following your intuition and looking at what is your gift, what is your speciality from your spiritual side that you can use to help others.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm perfect here, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to make money. For example, I guess it's always the intention. Is it to help people, or is it to make money to feed my ego?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to be conscious about what's driving the decisions.
Yeah, I think people, we get we can get guilty about this, and I know I used to, and it's not about, you're living in this life, and it is about spiritual growth, and it is about you growing spiritually, but it's also about you living a life in this world, with the material things that you deserve to have, i.e. you deserve to live in a beautiful home if that's what you want. You deserve to travel around the world if that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong about having nice clothes. It's about where your mind really is, and if it's based on your spiritual side, and what can you do, and what is your gift that you can give to others, and be able to live the life you want, which you're supposed to. There is nothing wrong with that at all. We're supposed to live a balanced life. But I think in present day, where we've all been constant, I shouldn't say all, we're living in a society where we're concentrating more on the material, the financial, and we're not paying attention to our spiritual. And this is where then the world is gone upside down. There is a balance. We're supposed to live a beautiful life, both financially, but more so spiritually, and spiritual first. Look after the spirit, it will look after everything.
Yeah, I think the West could benefit a lot from spirituality. I think the East could benefit from some Western
Yeah,
material
to balance.
advancements.
Yeah, to balance. So, okay, Lachlan. So you've arrived. Now you're now in Bali. You're going to go off to Dubai for a while. Will you return back to Bali? Will you make that your base, or you're not sure at the moment?
I'm not sure at the moment. I mean, there's certain parts I like about it, but it can be a little hard to focus on work. And there's something nice about walking down a European street, like on a nice day.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm
Yes.
going to do it feels right. I'm not, I guess, not thinking too far ahead. I think Cape Town next winter could be very interesting. There's a lot of people that go and it's a beautiful place. So we'll see.
You are living a truly lovely life. It's a life that you want, because you said early in your conversation that you didn't want to be set down into one place. You wanted to be free to travel. So obviously you're a spiritual being that loves to travel around and see the world and experience the world and have that life, and at the same time give back and share with whatever you have to offer to people. And that's a great thing. That's a very good thing. So, Lachlan, if you had to say to people advice on their journey, what would you advise people to do who are in it? And this is what my program is about. People are going through their ups and downs, and they don't know what they want, and they're not sure. And it is about connecting to your inner self and calming and connecting to spirituality. How would you advise people to go about it?
Yeah, I think a very important topic is fear, because we're very driven by fear, and it's fear that, like, led me to, say, 3 years in my corporate job when I wanted to quit and travel. Fear that I'm feeling right now is starting to post online. What will people think about me as my identity changes to them? And fear drives a lot of us, but it's almost like this illusion that crumbles when you shine a light on it.
Mhm,
And for me, I've just never wanted to live that 9 to 5 mediocre life. I think
mhm.
if someone loves their job and loves their 9 to 5, like, that's amazing. But I didn't love my job, and I didn't want the lack of freedom. So I almost eventually broke through that fear with emotional pain driving it, because I was like unable to travel. So I mean, I think that, like, anybody can build this life I have. I'm very fortunate, but also a lot of it was breaking through fear and just going after what I wanted.
Mhm.
And I think everyone's, maybe at a different step. Like, if someone is going through a lot of anxiety and depression right now, then focusing on that and doing what makes you feel good. What gives you energy and makes you feel relaxed? Is that yoga? Is it a warm bath? Is it talking with a friend? And peeling back the layers of why that is, and
Yes.
shining a light on that as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think reading these books as well, like A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now, like, you can get them for very cheap. And this stuff was very profound for me. I think the more you read these and, you save the pages, I just fold the pages,
Yeah, I do as well.
and this stuff really resonates with you. Yeah, like, the more you read this stuff, the more you'll discover about yourself. And, I do like vision board, like visualization of what you want is super powerful as well. Like, just awareness. What makes me anxious? What am I afraid of? What does my dream life look like? I think that's very powerful, being aware of what drives us and what's preventing us. And these are like really good steps that at least helped me, and hopefully they can help other people listening.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of the top people as well, like, do visualize their futures, because then you become that person, and you scan for that as well. Like, I wanted my dream villa with a big pool and a yard, and I messaged 15 Airbnbs to go see them in person, and I knew I found the right one when I saw it. And if I didn't have this vision of what I wanted, same as, like, what I want in, like, a partner, like, it's very easy for me to say hi to people with these glasses and show people it's a friendly world, because I know what I'm looking for, so I'm not like needy now. So I think that's also useful.
Yeah. No, well done. Oh, well, as you said, I was in, as I said, I was in Bali last year, and we decided we wanted to do it the luxury style. So we were staying in some luxury villas, and they were beautiful. I actually liked the one that was more traditional, but it was so lovely. And it is about visualizing and being determined what you want. And as you say, fear. And I say to people, fear is false evidence appearing real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Because as beings as we are, for we are spiritual beings with a physical body having a human experience, and as such, we're extremely powerful because we carry the DNA of the Creator. We can achieve anything, we've just forgotten, and we need to remember. So, Lachlan, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know
I meet my
it,
cat.
oh, oh, lovely.
Got a mustache.
That's
Yeah.
the mustache. Lachlan, thank you so much for sharing your story. And it's a story of just of all of us, you know, going through our life not being happy. And as you say, having that fear and putting it aside and stepping out and realizing that it is possible. It is possible, and it is about letting go of the fear, which it's like we've been programmed to just do the 9 to 5, do this, do that, and stick to it. And when that calling within stirs you, it is about finding that courage to stand up and make those changes. So, Lachlan, good luck with going to Dubai. Good luck with your travels. And I know because of the journey you're on, you're going to find that special gift that you have. And it's probably already started and you don't realize it. But keep on doing your yoga, doing your meditation, and just being silent and being guided. And definitely you will continue to live a lovely life. So for
Thank you.
all my viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this. And until next time, bye for now.
Great. Thank you.